Episode 2 Butterfly Migration. Welcome back, mes amis, to the Enchanted Labyrinth of Luminaria. I am the keeper of the labyrinth, and today we continue our Spring Equinox adventure by following our young explorers along their separate paths as they journey deeper into the labyrinth. They are about to witness one of the most magical phenomena of the spring season, the great butterfly migration. Let us first join Zara on the night path, where the walls shimmer with a deep blue light reminiscent of the midnight sky. As she walks alone for the first time in the labyrinth, her observant eyes take in every detail of her surroundings. The ceiling above her is a perfect recreation of the night sky, with constellations that slowly shift and change as she progresses. "These aren't random stars," she murmurs to herself, recognizing patterns that don't match any constellation she knows from the world above. They're forming shapes, like a map. Indeed, the stars above her are arranging themselves into the outline of a butterfly, wings spread wide, antennae reaching forward. As Zara watches, fascinated, the butterfly constellation begins to move, flying slowly ahead of her, as if guiding her path. "How beautiful," she whispers, following the celestial butterfly through the winding corridor. The star butterfly leads her to a circular chamber where the walls are covered in luminescent blue flowers that glow like tiny moons. In the center of the chamber stands a pedestal carved from what appears to be a single piece of dark blue crystal. Atop the pedestal rests a small silver bell. Zara approaches cautiously, examining the pedestal and bell without touching them. Around the base of the pedestal, an inscription glows with the same blue light as the flowers, "Pour appeler les papillons de nuit," to call the night butterflies. Night butterflies? Zara wonders aloud. She reaches for the crystal pendant Éloïse gave her, holding it gently. "Luca," she says into the crystal, "I found something interesting on the night path." The crystal warms in her hand, and Luca's voice emerges from it, slightly distorted but clear enough to understand. "What is it, Zara?" "There's a silver bell with an inscription about calling night butterflies. Should I ring it?" "Hold on," Luca replies. "Aiden and I have found something similar on our path. A golden bell that's supposed to call day butterflies. And Maya just contacted us about a crystal bell on her path for twilight butterflies. Do you think we should ring them at the same time?" Zara suggests. "That makes sense," Aiden's voice joins in. "If the equinox is about balance, maybe we need to synchronize our actions." Maya's voice adds, "Let's count to 3, then ring our bells together." The children count in unison through their crystal pendants, then each rings their respective bell. The sounds blend together in perfect harmony, creating a musical chord that resonates throughout the labyrinth. For a moment, nothing happens. Then the air around Zara begins to shimmer and pulse with tiny points of blue light. These lights coalesce into dozens, then hundreds of luminescent blue butterflies that emerge from the glowing flowers on the walls. Their wings are translucent, edged with silver that catches the starlight, and they move with a grace that seems almost choreographed. Through her crystal pendant, Zara can hear the gasps of her friends as similar events unfold on their paths. Maya describes golden butterflies with wings like sunbeams appearing on the day path, while Luca and Aiden witness the emergence of purple butterflies with wings that shift between day and night colors on the twilight path. Les papillons migrateurs, the migrating butterflies. Éloïse's voice suddenly speaks through all three pendants. You have awakened them from their winter sleep. Now they will guide you to the chamber of balance. The butterflies in each corridor form into organized swarms, creating living pathways of light that beckon the children to follow. Zara's blue night butterflies dance ahead of her, occasionally swirling around her in playful spirals before continuing forward. They seem almost intelligent, Zara observes, speaking both to herself and through the pendant to her friends. The butterflies of the Equinox Labyrinth are special creatures, Éloïse explains, her voice warm with affection. They exist in the space between seasons, between day and night, between the mundane and the magical. They are guides for those who seek balance and transformation. As Zara follows her butterfly guides, the corridor begins to change. The walls gradually lose their deep blue color, shifting toward a softer purple hue. The star patterns on the ceiling begin to intermingle with hints of dawn light. She realizes she must be approaching the place where the three paths converge. Meanwhile, on the day path, Maya walks beneath a ceiling that depicts a perfect spring sky, complete with occasional clouds that drift lazily overhead. The golden butterflies leading her way have wings that catch the sunlight, creating dazzling patterns on the flower-covered walls. As she progresses, the bright golden light begins to soften, taking on hints of purple as she nears the convergence point. On the twilight path, Luca and Aiden follow their purple butterflies through a corridor where day and night exist side by side. The left wall shows night scenes, stars, moon, and nocturnal creatures, while the right wall depicts day scenes, sun, clouds, and diurnal animals. The purple butterflies weave back and forth between these contrasting sides, embodying the balance of the equinox. Gradually, the distinct separation between day and night begins to blur as they approach the meeting point. This is your second choice, dear listeners. As our explorers follow their butterfly guides, they each encounter a small side chamber that contains a special flower. How should they interact with these equinox blooms? 1. Should they pick the flowers to bring as offerings to the chamber of balance? 2. Should they leave the flowers untouched, respecting the labyrinth's natural state? 3. Should they interact with the flowers without picking them, perhaps by touching a petal or inhaling their fragrance? As you consider this choice, imagine the delicate equinox flowers, blue star-shaped blooms on Zara's path, golden sun-shaped blossoms on Maya's route, and purple twilight lilies for Luca and Aiden, each glowing with inner light and emanating a sweet, enticing fragrance. The children, guided by their intuition and respect for the labyrinth, choose the third option. As each explorer discovers their special side chamber, they approach the equinox flowers with reverence rather than possession. Zara kneels beside a cluster of star-shaped blue flowers, their petals edged with silver that catches the starlight. Rather than picking them, She gently touches one petal with her fingertip. The flower responds immediately, its glow intensifying and spreading to the other blooms around it. A sweet fragrance fills the air, reminiscent of jasmine, but with an otherworldly quality that makes Zara think of moonlight and dreams. C'est la fleur d'étoile, the star flower, Éloïse's voice explains through the pendant. It blooms only during the spring equinox, when night and day are in perfect balance. On the day path, Maya discovers a chamber filled with golden flowers shaped like miniature suns, their centers glowing with warm light. Following Zara's example, she doesn't pick them, but instead cups her hands around one bloom without touching it. The flower responds by releasing a shower of golden pollen that hovers in the air around her hands, forming intricate patterns before settling back onto the petals. La fleur du soleil, the sunflower, Éloïse tells her. Its pollen carries the warmth and energy of spring sunlight. Luca and Aiden find their side chamber filled with unusual purple lilies whose petals shift between blue and gold depending on the angle of view. They kneel on either side of a particularly large bloom and gently blow across its surface, causing it to release a cloud of iridescent pollen that swirls between them like a miniature galaxy. La fleur du crépuscule, the twilight flower, Éloïse names it. It exists in the balance point between day and night, embodying the essence of the equinox itself. As each child interacts with their special flower, something remarkable happens. The butterflies guiding them gather around the blooms, their wings beating in perfect synchronization. They begin to collect the pollen or fragrance, carrying it on their delicate bodies as they resume their formation. The butterflies are collecting the essence of the equinox flowers, Éloïse explains. This is part of their migration ritual. They will carry this essence to the chamber of balance, where it will contribute to the equinox magic. With renewed purpose, the children continue following their butterfly guides. The three paths gradually converge, the distinct characteristics of night, day, and twilight blending together as they approach a central point. The butterflies fly faster now, their formations becoming more complex and purposeful. Finally, all three paths merge into a single wide corridor. Ahead, Zara can see Maya approaching from her day path, while Luca and Aiden emerge from the twilight route. The three groups of butterflies, blue, gold, and purple, swirl together in a spectacular aerial dance, creating a living kaleidoscope of color and light. "We made it!" Maya calls out, waving excitedly as she spots her friends. The children reunite in the convergence corridor, eagerly sharing details of their individual journeys. As they compare experiences, the combined swarm of butterflies forms into a spinning vortex above their heads. The three colors blending yet remaining distinct, a perfect visual representation of harmony in diversity. "Look at them," Aiden says, pointing upward. "They're working together, but keeping their unique qualities." "Just like us," Maya observes with a smile. "We each took different paths, saw different things, but we're back together now, sharing what we learned." "That's what balance is about," Luca adds thoughtfully. "Not erasing differences, but finding harmony between them. Zara nods in agreement, her observant eyes still tracking the butterfly patterns. And look, they're forming a new path for us to follow. Indeed, the butterfly vortex is now extending forward, creating a living tunnel of blue, gold, and purple light that leads toward a set of massive doors at the end of the convergence corridor. These doors are unlike any the children have seen before in the labyrinth. They appear to be made of living wood that shifts and changes before their eyes, with intricate carvings depicting the cycle of seasons from winter to spring. La chambre d'équilibre, the chamber of balance, Éloïse says, appearing suddenly beside them. You have successfully navigated the changing paths and witnessed the butterfly migration. Now you are ready to enter the heart of the Equinox Labyrinth. The butterfly tunnel extends all the way to the massive doors, which begin to glow with the combined light of all three butterfly types. Slowly, silently, the doors swing open, revealing a glimpse of an extraordinary chamber beyond. A perfect circular room, where the ceiling shows the exact moment of equinox, with day and night in perfect balance. But what awaits our young explorers inside this mysterious chamber of balance? What equinox challenge will they face there? And what secrets will they discover about the spring awakening of the labyrinth? These questions, dear listeners, will be answered tomorrow, as our adventure continues. For now, hold in your mind the image of our reunited explorers standing at the threshold of the Chamber of Balance, surrounded by the magical butterflies of the equinox migration, poised on the edge of new discoveries and wonders yet to be revealed. Until then, may your dreams be filled with butterflies of blue, gold, and purple, guiding you through magical paths of your own imagination. End of Episode 2.